I'd like to call to order the regular council meeting of June 13, 2016. Mr. Spagnuolo, please call the roll.
Palella.
Here.
Dixon.
Here.
Gibbons.
Here.
Hannon.
Present.
Harrison.
Present.
McLean.
Here.
Lowry.
Here.
O'Brien.
Present.
We have 8 members present. This time, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I have just 2 chair announcements. An executive session of council was held on Monday, May 23rd for personnel discussion. And the executive session of council was held tonight before we came out, June 13th, 2016 for police and personnel matters. At this time, I'd like to return to the reports of the officials and the library director's report.
Good evening. My name is Christine. I'm the director of Your Public Library, where we provide services to inform, inspire, and enrich the community. Summer is here, and so we'll talk about summer reading. Summer reading is for all ages. Our theme this summer is on your mark, get set, read. And we'll focus on health, fitness, fun, and games. So we're encouraging everyone to exercise their bodies and their minds. So for kids, they will be completing a bingo card with fun reading and physical activity squares. And then there's also some programs that are available, such as stop motion animation, imagination yoga, science of sports, Little Chef's cooking class, body system breakdown, and we're having a comedy workshop for teens. For adults, you can register online or in person, and you can submit an entry for each book read or listened to for a weekly drawing for a $25 gift card. Our grand prize this year for adults is a Fitbit, and that drawing will be on August 8th. A few other programs of interest. On Saturday, June 18th at 11 a.m., we have Car Insurance 101, presented by Walter Jackson, personal insurance consultant. From rates to coverage, deductibles to discount, you'll learn the facts that are often not provided, and you'll be able to understand every part of your insurance declarations page and know what to look for. On Saturday, June 25th at 11 a.m., Planning for Children with Special Needs, presented by Mark Waitman, Registered Representative, Western and Southern Life. In this presentation, we'll review your financial situation, discuss your child's needs for future living arrangements, and discuss available government benefits. And we are having a fundraiser this summer. We have an Xbox One and a Kindle Fire 7-inch tablet that we're raffling off. It's $1 donation per entry, and the drawing will be on Monday, August 8th also. And that is all I have this evening.
Any discussion from council? Hearing none, thank you very much. I'd like to turn to the police chief's report and Chief O'Connor.
Good evening, our mayor, council. Good evening, everyone. Chief O'Connor. First of all, on behalf of all the officers of the department, we wish everyone a safe summer season. We have our K-9, G's, will be graduating from his training program along with our handler on Friday, June 24th, and after that they will be out on the streets, so you look forward to seeing him. Again, there's no Crime Watch meeting during the summer, so we will not have a Crime Watch meeting in July. Hey, Mr. Denson. And so you can also follow us all summer on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Questions? Yep. We're good.
Thank you very much, Chief. This time, can we turn to the fire chief's report and Chief Gerber?
Good evening. My name is Dave Gerber. I'm the fire chief with the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company. In the month of May, the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company ran 41 calls. 4 structure fires, 1 vehicle fire, 1 trash fire, 1 vehicle extrication, 5 gas leaks, 2 power lines down, 1 lightning strike, 1 chlorine spill. We had a person stuck in an elevator. 3 good intent calls. We assisted the police twice with some traffic control. We had 2 electrical issues, 14 fire alarm activations, and 3 CO detectors, totaling 41 calls. My report's short and sweet this month. The big happenings with us right now is this coming Saturday, June 18th. The brand new Brightwood Fire Station will be opened, and we will be starting to run calls out of it. We have a grand opening ceremony and an open house planned on Saturday. Ceremony start at 10 a.m. down at, right at the fire station there on Brightwood Road. After the ceremonies, there will be an open house that will run until 4 p.m. Bethel Bakery will be down there. I believe they're raffling off a grill for the proceeds going towards the fire station. There'll be some cookies and cupcakes and all down there. Some light refreshments as far as water, and I believe we have some soda pop for everybody, with a couple of fire prevention things for the kids. So hopefully everybody can make it out. We look forward to seeing you and showing off the beautiful fire station down there. It really is nice. We can't wait for everybody to see it. So with that, we are always looking for new members. If you are interested in becoming a member of the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company, you can go onto our website at bethelparkvfc.com. If you're interested in becoming a member, you can click on the volunteer button across the top of the page and actually download an application right from there. We are normally at the stations every Monday night for drill and training. Stop down and see us. There's also information how to get a hold of us. If you can't stop down on one of the Monday nights or you have questions, give us a call and we can get back to you and answer any of your questions about volunteering. Also, we're always looking for donations. Donations help provide and pay for the vehicles, our equipment, and everything. As we've gone over 100 times probably in the last couple of years, your tax money goes towards paying for the buildings, paying for water, sewage, any of the problems, things that need done at a fire station. Your donations go ahead and pay for vehicles, equipment, and things like that. So we could always use donations. And with that, that's all I have this evening. I'll get out of your hair unless you have a question.
Hearing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We turn to the mayor's report. And Mayor Allen.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have two items. One is just a reminder that on Tuesday evenings through the fall is our farmers market up at St. Thomas More Church. And I also wanted to mention that the military banners are up. They were up over Memorial Day. The banner locators were supposed to be finished today, which means that if you go on the American Legion website or you go on the municipality website, you'll be able to click the locator, type a name in, and you'll be able to find out where it is on what street. It'll be either Route 88 or South Park Road. So since our teleprompter isn't working this evening, I'm going to go back to my seat and give the State of the Municipality address.
I think we're budgeting for a new one next year, Mr. Allen. Mayor. Yeah, flashcard.
Okay, Mr. President, it is my honor and privilege to provide the annual State of the Municipality as required by our Home Rule Charter. I'd like to begin by recognizing and commending the council, municipal staff, the police department, the volunteer fire department, and the emergency medical team for all the hard work and dedication to this community. In addition, I must also mention the men and women that serve on our various boards, commissions, and authorities. These people serve by appointment of council for the most part. Their pay is our gratitude and the good feeling they get serving the community. I am pleased to report that again this year the auditing firm of Mar Dussel has completed a municipal audit and report that we noted no matters involving internal control and its operation that we consider to be reportable conditions under established standards by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. The financial department, like all departments, continually seek ways to be more efficient and readily accept the advice and recommendation of the auditor on matters that are beneficial to the people of Bethel Park, and I would like to thank Joe and your staff for that. Bethel Park continues to be a hot spot for new businesses and developers. Many people consider us to be a maturing community. In many respects, we are. However, it is important to consider that while Bethel Park continues to grow with new developments, it also encourages us to know that we have significant redevelopments in our town. 2015 was a good year for new developments that included Spoonwood and Cool Springs, and 2016 will be another good year. Under the commercial developments that will be going on this year, or on the books to go on this year, there's a new Rite Aid that'll be on Clifton and McMurray Road between Ellis Cafe and Washington Elementary School. Cool Springs Retail, including a Mexican restaurant, which will be along Baptist Road. D&J Storage Facility will be built on Industrial Boulevard. We had the groundbreaking of the YMCA this past spring, and that should be concluded or completed next spring. Millennium Shops are finished, and they're just waiting for tenants. And the old Hollywood Video, which we've talked about before, should be opening in the near future. As far as residential, we still have the Bethel Park Retirement Community. That's off Keystone Road. It's the old Logan School, which is 132 units. Cool Springs Assisted Living, which is 138 units. Cool Springs Carriage Homes, which will be 23 townhomes. And Artist Senior Living, which is the old Knights of Columbus property, which is 72 units. And there's a new single home development called Willow Terrace, which will be 25 homes. Perhaps the largest project that will be completed in 2016 is the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department's new home. As the chief mentioned, the open house will be this Saturday, June 18th, and we look forward to seeing a lot of people there. I believe that we have a council and staff must continue to have the vision that Bethel Park will always be a work in progress, and it's our responsibility to walk that delicate line between development and protecting our residents and our neighborhoods. So, Mr. President, it's my observation and my opinion that the state of the municipality is going strong in all areas. I think that it continues to go forward, and we are positioned to adequately meet our immediate and future challenges. Bethel Park continues to be blessed in so many ways. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Just one follow-up to this Saturday's event with the fire department. There's going to be tight parking. St. Valentine's has graciously allowed us to park there. There's going to be some restrictions on Brightwood Road in front of the fire station, and there'll be parking in the rear on Park Avenue. I don't believe we have any events going on the field, so maybe come a few minutes early and just be cautious and careful where you park. Okay, at this time I'd like to turn to the approval of the minutes, and Mr. Hannon.
The first item is the regular council meeting of May 9th. I move that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of May 9th, 2016.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we approve the regular council meeting minutes of May 9th, 2016. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Dixon? Yes. Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. Hannon.
Next is the minutes of the public hearing of April 25th, 2016. I move that we approve the public hearing minutes of April 25th, 2016, application number 2016-0127, transfer of liquor license 301 South Hills Village.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the public hearing minutes of April 25th, 2016, application number 2016-0127, transfer of liquor license 301 South Hills Village. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagna, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons? Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I'd like to turn to the approval of the bills and payrolls, and Mr. Hannon.
I move that we approve the bills and payrolls of the municipality for bill list number 061316 in the amount of $1,092,306.76.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the bills and payrolls for the municipality per bill list number 061316 in the amount of $1,092,306.76. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnell, would you please call the roll?
Cannon,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Lowry,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Colella,
Yes.
Dixon. Yes. Givens.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. At this time, I would like to turn to the resident comment section for non-agenda items. Hearing none, can we turn to general policy and finance and Mr. McLean, and we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, Mr. President. First item is an ordinance for the Bethel Park Police Pension Plan Amendment. I move that we approve an ordinance of the Municipality of Bethel Park, Allegheny County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, amending the Municipality of Bethel Park Police Pension Plan to replace the current benefit for an officer killed in the line of duty with a Commonwealth-provided benefit in accordance with Act 51.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance of the Municipality of Bethel Park, Allegheny County, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, amending the Municipality of Bethel Park Police Pension Plan to replace the current benefit for an officer killed in the line of duty with a Commonwealth-provided benefit in accordance with Act 51. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnell, would you please call the roll?
Harrison,
Yes.
Blaine,
Yes.
Lowry,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Colella,
Yes.
Dixon.
Yes.
Givens.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
Next item is an ordinance for the year 2016 administrative salaries. I move that we approve the ordinance providing 2016 salaries for the Bethel Park management, supervisory, and other confidential employees.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the ordinance providing 2016 salaries for the Bethel Park management, supervisory, and other confidential employees. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnell, would you please call the roll?
Blaine,
Yes.
Lowry,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Colella,
Yes.
Dixon. Yes. Givens.
Yes.
Cannon.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. McLean.
We have no other agenda items.
Are there any additional items?
Mr. Murray,
Mr. Harrison.
I'd like to speak to the public again tonight. Excuse me. Everybody knows this is a national election year. Campaigning started a year ago. Next year is local election year, and council started the campaign 2 weeks ago in the committee's meeting in the back room. I appreciate the almanac addressing a couple of the issues that were discussed, specifically Councilman Colella's comments on me and the Bethel Volunteer Fire Company ballot questions that are scheduled to go on the ballot. Colella's remarks indicated that I was sullying or besmirching this government, this local Bethel Park government, by the comments I make from my seat here. And my reaction to that is he's entitled to his opinion. That's absolutely contrary to the feedback I get from my calls and my weekly visit to Giant Eagle to do grocery shopping, when it's not unusual people approach me that recognize me as a councilman and thank me for informing them and protecting their interests. McLean then decided to, I guess spontaneously, give a legalistic tutorial to me on the acceptability of what I call the violation of Home Rule Charter, which is our Constitution of Bethel Park. His comments, as best I could understand what he said, essentially mirrored what our super lawyer McTiernan had opined on the issue. McLean often reminds us from his seat that his father was the chairman of the elected Home Rule Charter Commission. I also was an elected member. Unanimous agreement of the Home Rule Charter Commission members was to write the Home Rule Charter plan in plain English to keep the citizens in on the goings-on and the lawyers out. I invite the citizens to read the Home Rule Charter. anyone competent in English will be able to understand it and understand the violation. And I assume, the librarians here, I assume there's a copy of the Home Rule Charter in the library. She acknowledged that there is. One more time, I will recite the plain English section of the Home Rule Charter that was violated. Article 11, Ordinances and Resolutions, Section 1107, effective date. Quote, the effective date of an ordinance shall be no sooner than 30 days after its adoption or 10 days after its publication, whichever is later, unless a later date is specified in the ordinance or required by the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. There can be no question of the intent of this section. I can speak with authority on the intent because I wrote this section of the Home Rule Charter along with many other sections of the Home Rule Charter. It begs the question, is council ignorant of the Home Rule Charter? Or are they just incompetent? Or did they have advanced information that their butts would be covered if the violation was exposed? It is important to note that I told council the night the ordinance was passed, before the vote on the ordinance, that ordinance violated the Home Rule Charter. Obviously, they didn't care about that fact. None of these above things, options which I just mentioned, justify council violating a Home Rule Charter. We know council demonstrated an element of incompetence. Passing the ordinance a month earlier would have made the action consistent with the Home Rule Charter. Specifying a November ballot date would have also been consistent with the Home Rule Charter. Then the November question on the ballot, we know now wouldn't have had a significant impact on the fire company new facility. The ordinance by council to place the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company on the ballot was delivered by McTiernan, Super Lawyer McTiernan, to the Election Bureau 27 days before its effective date. Council cop-out position is that our Super Lawyer McTiernan and the Election Bureau ruled that the action was okay. These rules were after the vote. Therefore, the rulings do not give cover for the council's violation of the Home Rule Charter. Council approved an unnecessary ad hoc committee to review the Home Rule Charter. The Home Rule Charter provides means of making amendments to the Home Rule Charter, and the details are specifically spelled out. So there was no need for an ad hoc committee, which cost the municipality a few $1,000s to operate. And then the final line I'm going to mention is Tim Maury stated in the caucus room that he would oppose my reelection. Note that the Almanac reported that the proposed contentious Home Rule Charter changes will not be considered this year. Does that mean the council's looking forward to Harrison not being around when they finally put him on the ballot? I will remind Mr. Maury, several years ago, he participated in gerrymandering the ward lines to include the home of a new Bethel Park resident into the 5th Ward. And not surprisingly, the new resident ran for the 5th Ward council seat. I remind Maury that the campaign employed professional signs, robocalls, door-to-door visits, along with Mr. Maury. The campaign failed miserably. Hopefully, Maury will have a repeat performance. The My concern with the violation of Home Rule Charter is that 6 actions, if unattended, grow like cancer. I'm going to give you 2 examples of that happening. These are at the national level. The Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution provides for a citizen to arm themselves and contrary to the intent of the Second Amendment, the federal administration continues to try to exercise ungodly controls. If the people, the citizens, were not so restricted on carrying their firearms for their protection, possibly the unfortunate incident in Orlando could have been much more extensive. One has to assume that no patron in the club had a firearm to kill the bad guy. I just truly feel that if people had firearms, he couldn't have possibly murdered that number of people. The 10th Amendment of the Constitution reads thusly: the power not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. These constitutional amendments have been severely violated over the years, and the rate of violations have increased dramatically in the Obama administration. Can our precious nation survive with this type of lawlessness by the elected officials and lawyers? I don't think so. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr.
I really feel kind of embarrassed. I'm sorry, Chief. This is a wonderful day. It's a wonderful month. And to taint it once again for the last, 2.5, 3 years? I'm sorry. I just think it's a glorious day. The fire department is excited. The people of this town are excited. The building is absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I didn't really know how it was going to fit when I first saw the designs. How's it going to fit? Is it going to look great? And it looks like it's brand new, but it looks like it's been there for a long time, and the architect did a very nice job. And I even thought about, there's such a small space, and how's it going to fit? Well done. Well done to staff, well done to the fire department, well done to Mr. Murray, and for walking through this and making sure everything. And Jerry, thank you, Jerry, for all the hard work you've done. And I just think it's a great day, and should be remembered as that, as a great achievement of the people of Bethel Park, the fire department, this municipal council, and municipal staff. So thank everyone.
Mr. Mowry, if I could. I'd just like to echo what Mr. O'Brien just said. The firehouse is beautiful, and as we sit here month after month, and for those of you that are regularly attend the meeting, but for those of you that also monthly tune in, it's the same speech, it's the same song and dance. And as I sit here and I think of things to say to rebut Mr. Harrison, my head starts to spin. And I can't even collect my thoughts, because as Mr. Harrison lives in the past, continually beating a dead horse time and time again, the remainder of this council looks towards the future. We all are looking towards the future, and the firehouse is the future, and the community park improvements are the future. So, Mr. Harrison, I could sit here and go on and on and on, but I won't waste this council's time. I will not waste the residents' time, as you have month in and month out, with this continual, just time and time again, just living in the past and trying to drag people down into the mud and name calling, so on and so forth. So, once again, as this council continues to move forward and look forward, you continue to look backward, and that's just not how the rest of us want to continue to operate. So that's really all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mowry.
Mr. Mowry.
Mr. Harris.
I just want to tell Councilman that I don't know what motivated him to make the comments in the caucus room, but if he thinks that he can intimidate me you've got a lot of learning to do. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mowry?
Mr. McLean.
I think I'd just like to take a minute and maybe explain what did motivate me to make the comments that I did in the caucus room that Mr. Harrison referred to. And it was nothing more than my attempt to try to explain to Mr. Harrison the legal ruling that Mr. McTiernan had provided to us 3 years ago. And from comments Mr. Harrison made, it appeared to me that he didn't quite understand what Mr. McTiernan had explained to us, and Mr. McTiernan wasn't there. But being a lawyer, I was familiar with the case that Mr. McTiernan had referred to, and I just took the time to explain it to Mr. Harrison. I didn't try to do it in any derogatory way. I just tried to provide him with the benefit of the explanation. I'm a little surprised that that got turned into the comments that I heard tonight from Mr. Harrison, but let me just say this, maybe in closing. I'm happy any time to be associated with Mr. McTiernan, and if he and I are thinking the same way, that's a pretty good verification for me. I say the same thing about my father. Happy to be associated with him anytime. But it occurred to me when Mr. Harrison was speaking tonight about the name calling that he resorts to, and particularly with Mr. McTiernan trying to label him in some derogatory way as a super lawyer and denigrate his profession. The one thing I've noticed in my 30-plus years as a lawyer, when someone resorts to name calling, it's usually because they have the lesser of the argument. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McLean. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I will just move on. We're going to planning and zoning and Mr. Dixon, and we have no residents signed up to speak.
Thank you, sir. We haven't a single item this month under planning and zoning, Mr. President.
Dixon, any other items? Hearing none, can we turn to health, safety, and welfare? And Mr. O'Brien.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. We have one item, a resolution, municipal police cooperative agreement. I move that we adopt the resolution to allow Bethel Park Police Department to join the South Hills DUI Task Force.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we adopt a resolution to allow Bethel Park Police Department to join the South Hills DUI Task Force. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Spagno, would you please call the roll?
Mowry,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Colella,
Yes.
Dixon. Yes. Gibbons,
Yes.
Hannon,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Mr. O'Brien.
Mr. Chairman, there are no other items under health, safety, and welfare. However, I have one.
O'Brien.
I'd just like to talk about Memorial Day. What a day. It was an amazing day. I'm very proud of the people of Bethel Park. They turned out in record numbers. And there's so many people that you can't really thank on Memorial Day because there's not enough time. So I'm going to choose it to do here the people that were forgotten. From the American Legion, Jack Allen, thanks for all that you do with the Memorial and the American Legion. Jack's speech was very well done, and I thank him for that. It was a great speech, Jack. George Tracy, who every year effortless, just like clockwork, he puts the parade together. John Normal, who just, he does it all also, and the Sons of the Legion, they just step up without any recognition. And then at the community center, Kathy Moscato, who puts everything together to make sure everything works for the luncheon. And then there's the Lady Auxiliary from the Legion. They serve all that food to all those people. And in fact, this time there was hardly a seat to be had at the luncheon, and the food was almost gone, right, Jack? Which was amazing. Everyone had a wonderful time. From the Veterans Memorial Committee, Rick Rader and Kathy Rader and Sharon Taylor and Caroline Briggs, they all do some really unique things without recognition. They do it because they believe in the cause. They believe in honoring our veterans. The high school kids who came and they penciled in all the names of the pavers with Sharpie pens to make them look good for that day. Spending a Saturday afternoon with Councilman Tim Mowry in the rain washing the memorial I'm not sure if Tim doesn't like the rain or he doesn't like washing or cleaning. I think it's mostly the rain. But
I think your 3 minutes is up.
And then there's just the amazing Colonel William Knaus. He's just an extraordinary man, how he just keeps giving and giving and giving at the age of, 96? It's just amazing, and his stories and his insight and his love for this memorial just makes everyone a better person, I guess, the more you spend time with them. And then there's extraordinary efforts, like Timmy Mari behind the scenes, doing all the little things, and Jimmy Hanna, and Bill Spagna. And then the written word. Now, James McLean is usually our guy who has adopted himself as our speaker, our introducer, and he couldn't make it because of personal reasons this year. And what did he do? He stepped up. He did the research. He made the written word. He allowed us to read his written words that actually etched things into history. In fact, I'm still receiving calls from residents who are seeing it replayed, talking about Mr. Edwards, talking about Joseph Chemerinsky. It's really a wonderful thing. And then the attention on the day from Jerry and Susie and Judy. Just those little things. And these are 3 separate acts, 4 separate acts going on one day from a lot of different things that have to be really precise to make everything work well. And it's really fun. Even watching Greg Miller, I know he was being paid that day, and he's paid in time and a half. He's a municipal employee, but his exceptional focus to detail to make sure everything's right, because, he just gets it. He gets what we're trying to do, and I just thought that was extraordinary. And then there's the Edwards family, and Sue Means and Jim, who brought their whole family here, the Shemelinskis, who came from all over the country to be here, and then the Kurtz family. They came to remember their son as we would want to remember his son. This started with all that weekend started with a conversation last Memorial Day from Jim Means about Pete Edwards. And then in the cookie aisle at Walmart, Joseph Chemerinsky. And then Gail Mattis calls me and says, hey, I have this flag and I want to honor Russell Kurtz. It just all came together. And it's really nice to know the people of Bethel Park truly understand the meaning. Sacrifice is meaningless without remembrance. But all this, all that we do here, all that we work for, all the hours that we put in, are all managed by one person who, I don't know exactly if Memorial Day would have ever happened the way it did this year without her passion, without her intelligence, without her skills, without her tolerance and patience putting up with me. And on behalf of Joseph Chemerinsky, who I thought he would like you to have these. Kathy, you are exceptional, and we thank you. And Sergeant Joe. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Mr. O'Brien, I just want to make a quick comment. I mean, Mark talked about a lot of the people that were involved, and there certainly is a lot of people that get involved each year. And I really want to thank Mark because he's the driving force behind making sure it happens. Getting me out there in the rain, I still haven't figured that one out. Then to make it worse, I let him drive my car. What am I thinking?
No, my granddaughter drove my car. By the way, that little girl that sang with me, that was my granddaughter that day, Sophia Riley. Yeah, she says I'm replaced. I guess it's true.
Mark who? She got 5 votes, I know that. But no, thank you, Mr. O'Brien, for all your hard work and dedication over the years. Okay, at this time, can we turn to Public Works and Maintenance and Ms. Gibbons?
Municipal building ramp renovations. I move that we award the municipal building ramp renovations projects to Swede Construction Corporation in the amount of $99,775, which includes a base bid, alternate bid 1, alternate bid 2, alternate bid 3, and alternate bid 4.
Second.
There is a motion and second that we award the municipal building ramp renovation project to Swede Construction Corporation in the amount of $99,775, which includes the base bid, alternate bid 1, alternate bid 2, alternate bid 3, and alternate bid 4. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Spagnol, can you please call the roll?
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Givens?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes. Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Beagle Drive Bridge Replacement. I move that we reject the bid received for Beagle Drive Bridge Replacement.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we reject the bid received for Beagle Drive Bridge replacement. Any discussion on this item? Mr. Spagnol, can you please call the roll?
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Givens?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes. Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
JCOG Purchasing Alliance Winter Salt Purchase Agreement Amendment to Articles of Agreement. I move that we approve the amendment to the Articles of Agreement extending the current JCOG Purchasing Alliance Winter Salt Purchase Agreement.
Second.
There is a motion and a second that we approve the amendment to the Articles of Agreement extending the current Shaycog Purchasing Alliance Winter Salt Purchase Agreement. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Dixon?
Yes.
Givens?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
Resolution, Cool Springs Retail Development Sewage Facilities Planning Module. I move that we adopt the resolution approving the sewage facilities planning module associated with the Cool Springs Retail Development.
Second.
There's a motion and a second that we adopt a resolution approving the sewage facility planning module associated with the Cool Springs retail development. Any discussion of this item? Mr. Spagnol, would you please call the roll?
Gibbons?
Yes.
Hannon?
Yes.
Harrison?
Yes.
McLean?
Yes.
Maury?
Yes.
O'Brien?
Yes.
Colella?
Yes.
Dixon?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Ms. Gibbons.
I have no additional items under Public Works and Maintenance.
Are there any additional items? Hearing none, can we have a
Move we
motion to
adjourn.
adjourn? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Good night, everyone.